I mean,
but they would take that and take it seriously.
There are people who like
white men.
Yeah, and they think that
that
Jasmine Crocket talks with her neck.
No, I'm not just saying
it's too loud and snaps her fingers and all that, and they caricature her like he's doing.
Yeah.
And so my point though is that I didn't like the back and forth with Jasmine Crocket and Nancy Mace or whoever it was, right? But
Nancy Mace is the one that got violent. She was the one that said, "Let's take it outside."
I know them both very well.
Taylor Greene.
I know them both very well, and that just because I was in the legislature, so I look at that totally different. However, I will tell you that there is a through line between the Ice Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths, and these individuals and. Ice Cube may be slightly different than the other two, but these individuals have been around since we have been on this freedom struggle. Mm-hmm. There have always been individuals out there which exhibit behaviors of charlatans who utilize. Some people are in it for the change, and some people are in it for the change. Right, and I think that that's indicative. And they find the easiest path to the front of the line. And Stephen A. Smith is someone who doesn't have the depth to talk about House oversight or the appropriations process, right? And how you're able to bring resources back to your community or what Jasmine is doing. So he rather lampoon her or instead of having a constructive conversation. And so I've said what I've had to say about Stephen A. Smith in my book. Anywhere I can. I don't have a lot of use for him in the political dialogue. I think that there are individuals who he matriculated with at Winston-Salem State University that are extremely disappointed about the man he's become.
It's so disheartening to me. It's frustrating, one, because anytime we speak on this, it's like man haters and all this. But I feel such confidence in Black men. I've never bought into the idea that all these Black men are voting for Trump. Like, they vote overwhelmingly Democrat. We're pretty much in line with each other. What you all are saying is no, they are, and the data shows that there have been inroads among Black men. I want to ask why, because it is frustrating to me, and it feels heartbreaking, to be honest, because we are impacted by this system as well. It's not a matter of who's impacted worse. We're impacted differently. We sit at the intersection of being Black and being women. And so when men are frustrated with this system, it feels like they fight us. And I would put Stephen A. Smith in that category too. I'm mad at y'all for having joy. I'm mad at y'all for having success. I'm mad at y'all for surpassing us on college campuses. And so it's a small sect of men that are so angry and hurt that they're willing to align with the people who oppress us. What am I getting wrong?
What Bakari Sellers needs to recognize is, why don't you tell what the truth is? Why don't you speak about the level of resentment that you really, really have? That the American people are more willing to listen to somebody like me or the others that you mentioned rather than you, who's been doing this for years out of South Carolina and then some. Nobody care what you have to say. I'm giving you pub right now by talking about you. Because this is the kind of individual he is. I could come at somebody like that who chooses to be disrespectful. You know my number. You could have reached me a long time ago. We could have had discussions a long time ago. The only time you ever reached out to anybody is when you wanted to sell your book.
Come on.
So it doesn't matter to me what you've accomplished. It doesn't matter to me how intelligent you are. It doesn't matter to me how knowledgeable you are, because nobody wants to listen to you, because your intent and your disposition and your default position is to attack personally people you don't even know. A charlatan? That implies I'm a fraud. How am I fraudulent? My work speaks for itself. I've been doing this for years. And SiriusXM wanting to come to me, I got news for you. CNN will want me before they want you, and you work there. Not to mention other networks. Don't hate on us because of what you ain't. Step up and be more than that by focusing on the issues. And if we don't know, teach us. So all you got to do, teach us. If you're right, we'll listen to you. And instead of me calling you out on the airwaves, what I do instead is sit on the air and say, hey, this makes perfect sense, man. Bakari Sellers is right. Just like I've said Van Jones is right. Just like I've said others are right. On the left and the right. You bought and paid for on one side. Don't even want to hear what the other has to say. But you talking about me. Sit your ass down.
Yeah.
I asked a question.
Now, that part.
Drop that
Stephen
mic.
A.
Drop
Stephen
that
A. don't
mic.
care no more, man. He is not concerned with these folks anymore because the same things that we've discussed on this show a multitude of times, I think Stephen A. now is starting to see it.
Yep.
He is starting to see that you cannot have your own mind when it comes to these people.
No.
You have to be in lockstep with everything, the full agenda of the left. And if you are not, they're trying to cancel you. Tamika Mallory said, "Can we turn this dude off?"
She did say that.
The Boule gatekeepers, let's just call them who they are and what they
Facts.
are. The Boule gatekeepers are upset that someone of the status of a Stephen A. Smith, who has the type of cachet and the microphone and the platform that he has, is telling the truth, not only to black folks, but to Americans in general. And he is calling it out, and they can't stand it. They can't stand it, and they're trying to do everything that they can to cancel the man. The problem is, y'all don't have the power to cancel that man.
That's right.
I'm like, black women don't watch Stephen A. They don't even watch. Most black women aren't watching sports like that enough to cancel a Stephen A. Smith on an ESPN. And I don't even watch ESPN like that anymore. You know, they're not watching his show on YouTube. They were never watching that. And they don't listen to sports radio talk on Sirius XM. So they don't even have the power that they act like they have. And to be honest with you, man, no one is listening to these fools. The Native Land Podcast and all the money that they have behind them from iHeartRadio, bro, 100-some-odd-thousand subscribers. Nobody's watching them like that. He's absolutely right. Bakari, I don't want to be disrespectful to the man, so I'm not going to go where I was going to go with it, but no one's listening to these people.
No, facts.
No
Let me
one.
jump.
Go ahead, JWhit.
Okay, so my girl in the beginning, and thank you for not playing that part where she was talking about, she was really being disrespectful to Stephen A. Smith, talking about giving, talking about genitalia and stuff like that. Because I was ready. I got my notes ready. I was ready to talk about that. But I love the fact that she has to say that she's pro-male. And I think that's funny because I very rarely have ever had to qualify something saying I'm pro supporting women.
Amen.
I give my bona fides all the time that I'm a husband of one and a father of two all the time, but I very rarely have to say I'm pro-woman. You know why? Because the stuff I say don't sound crazy. So the fact that she has to qualify and say I'm pro-male and proceed to go down and slaughter men. Oh, but I'm pro-male. Man, please go have a seat. I think this is very interesting. We're now in an environment where women clearly are making it plain they don't want to be led by men. And she's literally saying she wants Stephen A. Smith to walk lockstep with her, black women. Not black women follow their men and say, okay, the men are going in this direction. I'm following my man. No. Y'all need to follow us, which is crazy, nasty work. I don't know what the guy's talking about. What are we struggling against again? I don't remember. Please, if you could drop me a note in the chat. What are we actually struggling for? I mean, we have the freedom to do everything we want to do in this country. I don't really know where I'm struggling, but I don't. If you could let me know, that's it. I'm struggling because I got to go get my garbage cans off the curb because the garbage man just came. This oppression narrative is really getting old and tired. It's threadbare. It's tired. It's like the rehash of Star Wars. We're done with it. We're done with it. Don't bring Palpatine back. We're done with that. Don't bring Indiana Jones back. He's finished. Stop it. But they keep bringing up this oppression. Who's oppressing you? And maybe you should say directly and specifically who it is that is oppressing you. I thought it was kind of cute that they threw shade at Ice Cube when he is doing, and again, what is Ice Cube doing? Doing his own thing, taking care of his own family,
making money,
doing what's right for his people. Now, that Netflix recent movie, that was probably not right for anybody. That's why the aliens won't talk to us, but I digress. But that was a flop. That was a fumble. Everything else Ice Cube has done, you got to give him respect. You got to tip your hat to Ice Cube's grind, and he's taking care of his own family. You don't see Ice Cube all embroiled in foolishness and chicanery until he says something that y'all don't agree with. And I like how you said the black bourgeoisie gatekeepers. And then the personal attack angle, I would like literally Stephen A. Smith has said nothing wrong.
And how dare you have an opinion that contradicts the, and mind you, everybody black doesn't agree with everybody black. Go to a cookout and you'll see what happens. Okay, you already know how it's going to go left. We don't agree with ourselves sometimes. I don't agree with myself. So how am I going to agree with everybody black? That's just silly. So the idea that Stephen A. Smith has to walk a certain path in order to be considered. No, what y'all need to do is go ahead and get Stephen A. Smith's address, send him his getting off the Democrat plantation passport, because I think the brother's about to join us. I think he's going to leave the foolishness real soon. So send him his passport, let him know where the real cookout is going on, where real freedom is, because I think he's about to leave this foolishness. I digress.
AT.
You know what's crazy, and Celeste, I want you to get in there. The crazy thing is that they're upset with what he said about Jasmine Crocket. I don't know if you guys actually heard, the clip in reference to what he said about Jasmine Crocket. They're not upset that he said it, or look, hold up. They hadn't tried to refute what he said. They're upset that he even called it out, that he said it.
That's right.
And they're like, well, and then Charlamagne goes on there and says, well, he needs to speak to her policy. And I'm like, what policy, sir?
Policy?
What policy? She's
Can I ask a question?
No policy? Go for it.
Real quick, can I interject something? This is exactly why the black community has allowed shysters and scamsters and hucksters to go on so long. How dare you call out Umar Johnson? How dare you say bobblehead Al Sharpton is a fraud? How dare you do this, that, and the other?
That's right.
Well, y'all ain't doing it, dummy. Like, I'm the one that says, look, that dude's a sham. That dude's a scam. No, how dare you say that? You can't say that out loud. You can't say it in front of white people. He's acting a fool in front of white people. Why can't I say it? White people ain't Jesus.
That's right.
I mean, at what point do we say we have to call out our people in our community? So Stephen A. Smith calling out Jasmine Crocket is bad, but y'all not dogging out the fact that she's actually, that what he said was right. Like, we're missing that part.
Yeah.
We don't deserve better. Unless we want to do better, we don't deserve better. We deserve exactly what we get. Unless we're willing to say this person is a scamster. Jamal Harrison Bryant is a scammer. He's a scamster. Right. End of day, I know I'm gonna probably see him at homecoming tomorrow. He's a scammer. Somebody needs to say that out loud and personal. And unless we don't do that, then guess what? We get what we get, and we better not pitch a fit.
Right.
I would agree.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the JWhit Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.